Hi everybody, my name is Mima. This is Mima's Inventory, and welcome back to my channel, the long-awaited video.
I know a lot of people have asked me, when is this video coming? Why is it taking so long? What's going on?
Life is what's going on.
Last video that I posted to my YouTube channel was my 24-week pregnancy update. Oh no, the Ipsy bag review. That was the last video that I had to my channel. And the reason why I haven't posted was because my baby was born early. So a lot of emotions and a lot of things going on, and I just wanted to give an update on mommyhood, how I'm doing, what's going on type of video. So my baby was born at 28 weeks and 5 days. What happened was me and my boyfriend and me and my family, we went house hunting, and it did not occur to me that, you know, house hunting means there will be stairs. Also, remember, I had the cerclage put in to minimize the chances of me having a premature baby. First house, we went to go see 3 houses. So first house, you know, I was like, all right, that's not that bad. Obviously I was winded because I was pregnant, but it wasn't that bad. Second house, I remember it. I went down the basement stairs and I came back up and I had to lean over the kitchen counter. Thing is, I was having sporadic contractions anyway, so I kind of didn't pay it any mind. And then by the third house, I was having contractions, but they weren't constant. So I got home and I couldn't sleep because it was just hurting. The thing is, it wasn't even just contractions. My hoo-ha was hurting because of the pressure against the stitches. Like my cervix was hurting. So I wake up my boyfriend. I'm like, bro, I have to go to a hospital because this just hurts. So we go to the hospital. I couldn't even go to sleep. We go to the hospital. I called them to let them know I was on my way, and they checked me, and they're just like, we don't see anything. Like, I got checked each time I went to the hospital. I got checked twice, one by the nurse and then another time by the actual doctor, just to double check. And they're just like, yeah, your stitches are fine, you know, baby is not gonna come out. They do the ultrasound and he's fine. So I was like, okay, cool. So then I got home, and then everything was fine. But then I started having contractions again, so I went back to the hospital, and then this time they were actually scared that I was gonna have the baby. So they actually admitted me and gave me a steroid shot, and they just monitored me. Basically, when I was there, they were just like, yeah, you want to be really careful because, you know, the stitches and everything, they're fine. Still want to be extremely careful. So I'm like, okay, cool. So me and my boyfriend leave the hospital and we go back home. I was on strict bed rest. Okay, anytime I needed to pee, I had to tell my boyfriend so that he can help me up to use the bathroom. No making breakfast, no moving. I like move once in a while because I'm a busybody. I don't like staying still. It's another reason why I talk with my hands a lot.
Also because of the nails.
Tuesday was when I went home from the hospital, and I was fine Wednesday, and I was fine Thursday. It was that Friday where I woke up feeling like my body was hurting. Like my whole body felt like I got hit with a bat. So they gave me medication. Actually, I went to the hospital, and then they gave me medication to slow down the contractions, and they're like, are you sure you want to go home? And I'm like, yeah. Like the contractions slowed down. I was fine. I was like, okay, cool. Little boy had some other plans, okay? Because I got home and I just laid on the couch. I was like, I don't want to move. These were full-blown contractions. Like, I was dying. Here's the fun part. Obviously, we're gonna go back to the hospital, and they're, mind you, each time that I went there, they kept checking. Like, by now I've been to the hospital a bunch of times because I was having weird discharge, which happened to be bacterial vaginosis because of the damn cerclage. It gave me bacterial vaginosis. They're just like, yeah, we're scared you're gonna have this baby. Finally, another doctor checked me and they said I was 1 centimeter dilated. So they finally admitted me and they put me on a magnesium drip. My body felt like I was kissing the sun. I was finally able to get some sleep because through all the contractions and the feeling that my cervix was ripping and everything, like, yeah. And they admitted me to a room, and then they took me off of the magnesium drip, and then the contractions started happening again. Finally, the doctor walked in like, yeah.
So you're gonna have a baby.
And they were so scared and concerned because I still had the stitches in, I still had the cerclage in, and they did not want him to rip through the stitches. So they had to hurry me to a room and take the stitches out. But by this time, I was in so much pain and so much damage had been done that I had to get an epidural just so they can check me again, because it was just too much. I was in too much pain. I could not handle it. So they gave me an epidural, and then they finally took the stitches out, and now we're just waiting for baby Apollo to pop out. Finally, I don't feel the pain from it, I feel pressure. It's funny because I saw this video on BuzzFeed that said when you give birth to a baby, it feels like you have to basically poop a basketball. I did not understand it until that day. So finally, I'm making groaning noises, and I have the need to push, and I'm just like, yo, we have to call the nurse because this baby's coming out now. I think 2 good pushes, and he came out swinging and kicking and thrashing. He came out at 9:23 in the morning on Sunday, September 6th, at 3 pounds and 1 ounce. The feeling of giving birth is absolutely insane. Within a few hours, I was able to go down to the NICU to see him. Now, as you guys know, or if you don't know, NICU has preemie babies or babies that have health problems that came out. And he was so small. He was long. He had long legs, but he was so small and so little. That's the birthing story. A lot of emotions came with birthing him early. I remember they gave me a journal, and it really helped with me writing down my emotions, because and this is why I'm very happy that I found the Preemie Mom group. There's a lot of guilt that comes from giving birth early. The feeling of you failed your child, you weren't able to protect them long enough, and now they have to go through these experiences too early, or they have to fight harder than they would have if they were still inside you. It makes you, some days it made me feel like I was less of a woman because I wasn't able to carry full term. It was a hard battle. Postpartum hit me extremely hard, because I didn't get to take my baby home. At the time, I was breast pumping, and I wasn't getting any sleep, and then I picked up a job fairly quickly because I have this thing where I don't let myself feel things for too long. I have to distract myself. I'm like, okay, I have to work out, I have to do something. Like, I don't let myself actually feel the emotions of what is happening. Bad idea. Don't do that. Every night, when my boyfriend would come home from work, we would go to the hospital to see him. Thank God the NICU was 24 hours, even with COVID. Those neonatal nurses, they are saints. Thankfully, his Nicu Journey, there was only one hiccup, and he had blood in his stool, and that was just because of something that he swallowed when coming out. It passed right through him, and there was no other issues. He had a little jaundice. But now let's talk about the joys of motherhood. I decided to switch from breast milk to formula because it was very stressful pumping breast milk at home when your baby's not there, because I don't know, it was just weird. Like, it wasn't weird to me, I should say. It was stressful, because when I would pump at the hospital when he was at the NICU, it was much easier because I'm like, he's right there, and it would just flow. And then as soon as I got home, I started stressing myself out, and then the milk supply, I went from pumping, each breast pumped 5 ounces, from that to barely getting an ounce. And then you see your milk supply drop, and then that depresses you, and then that stresses you out more. So finally, I made the choice to go from breast milk to formula. He's on the Similac NeoSure obviously infant formula, but the one with tons of iron. It was made specifically for babies that was born prematurely. In the beginning, we had hiccups because he got constipated really bad, but he was able to get over that. So yeah, let's talk about motherhood.
And the joys and the headaches
of motherhood. I love my baby. His name is Apollo Michael Carter. The first night when we brought him home, best night ever. It was amazing. We were so happy. We were hella nervous. It's funny because when your baby's in the NICU for a long time, and he had a 60-day NICU stay, like 2 months. When your baby's been in the NICU for a long time, you bring him home, it almost doesn't feel like you're bringing home your baby. It's almost like, oh my God, I have to take care of this little human that the hospital gave me, rather than this is my baby. It almost feels like those baby assignments that you get like in high school or whatever. Yeah, the first night was a breeze. It was very easy.
Second night,
this little boy was insane. I was stressed. Like, I had tears in my eyes because of how stressed I was and how tired I was. And my son is a very big mama's boy. In the beginning, he basically only wanted me to hold him. Like, anytime he would cry and my boyfriend would pick him up, he would keep crying, and then he would have to hand him to me because then he would stop crying. And that was very, very, very stressful. Preemie babies, sometimes feeding them is a little difficult to get them to drink the amount that they're supposed to drink. Fast forward to now. He is going to be 9 months on the 6th of this month. And he is a giggly, big foreheaded, frizzy-haired baby. You would barely know that he's a preemie if they didn't tell you, because he's super long. And he actually is about the normal size of a 9-month-old. Sometimes he even looks 1 year old because he's so long. Just seeing how this little tiny nugget in the NICU turned into this big 9-month-old that's just constantly rolling. It's an amazing thing to see. That's basically my update, my story, motherhood, how's it going. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.